We both made the big leagues. I had 4 or 5 of the best years any Boone's ever had, and Aaron hit a home run no Yankee or Boston Red Sox fan will ever forget. To this day, plenty of people in Boston think my little brother's full name is Aaron, fill in the blank, Ing Boone. All told, the Boones you'll meet in this book account for 58 big league seasons, 10 All-Star appearances, 634 home runs, 3,139 RBIs, and 11 Gold Gloves. But stats don't tell the story. There are millions of memories, too, and we're still making them. Today, Dad's a vice president at Washington Nationals. I'm a special advisor for the Oakland A's. Aaron's in the broadcast booth for ESPN. And our brother Matt, who played 7 seasons of minors before a back injury forced him to retire, runs Boone Action Turf, the family's artificial turf company. Home Game is about growing up with RBIs in your DNA. It's about how easy Major League Baseball is, at least when you're hot. But it's also about how brutal the game can be when you're struggling. You're going to find out about the lessons I learned from my grandpa, my dad, and my brother, plus some things I learned from other players who were better than me. Here's one: greatness is a lot subtler and more interesting than it looks. I want to tell you some of the game's secrets. You're going to hear about famous names, games, and personalities. There will be Bush League bus trips, big league luxury, and clubhouse feuds, as well as dugout and mound scenes to make Bull Durham look tame, postseason pressure, injuries, comebacks, and off-the-field crisis. Drawing on 80 years of family history, I'll give you the behind-the-scenes look at Ted Williams, Dad's teammates Mike Schmidt, Steve Carlton, and Pete Rose, as well as Griffey, Jeter, Bonds, Maddox, Glavine, and Smoltz, and other stars and scrubs, including today's players. I'll also share some great Boone moments, like the night I was in the Fox TV booth at Yankee Stadium, calling the 2003 American League Championship Series, ALCS, when Aaron beat Boston with his historic homer. This is inside baseball like you've never seen it before. I'll address the biggest issues in the game: money, metrics, injuries, awards, replays, new rules, and more. This might be the only book I ever write, so I want it to be the best one I can write. It starts first thing in the morning. When I was a toddler, my dad was catching for the Phillies, trying to help them win the first World Series in franchise history. Mom went to the park to see him play. So who was going to babysit Bret? Gramps. I used to knock around my grandfather's house, watching ball games with him. I remember the Phillies' red pinstriped uniforms on the TV screen, and the weird green of the Veteran Stadium AstroTurf, and how Gramps would doze off in his easy chair. He needed his sleep because I was going to wake him up at 5 in the morning. Ball, ball. That was my first word, ball. Hitting or throwing a baseball or a wiffle ball. That was about all I wanted to do from the time I was in diapers. You might say I was precocious. Adventurous? Okay, maybe obnoxious. As soon as I could walk, I invented a new game: chasing the lawnmower, trying to tackle it. Dad and Gramps forgave me because I was also smacking wiffle balls over the house at the age of 2. Ball, Grandpa. Gramps would drag himself out of bed and we'd go for a catch while the sun came up. My 6-foot grandfather seemed super tall to me. He seemed super old, too. At least 100 years old, if not 200, with his graying hair and creaky knees. He was actually young for a grandfather. Not even 50 when I was a toddler. Boones tend to marry young and have kids early. But he was a patriarch. That's what Dad called him, the patriarch. I had no idea what that meant. I was doing pretty good to remember ball. Was a patriarch a kindly old man who snoozed through the 10 o'clock news? A gimpy-kneed senior citizen who liked vanilla ice cream? Later I found out that there was a lot more to that. Our patriarch was a hell of a player in his time, a time that began in San Diego almost 100 years ago. Raymond Otis Boone was born in 1923. He was the son of a woodworker who built walls on construction sites. According to family lore, he was a descendant of Daniel Boone, which makes me one, too. San Diego was a small town in the 1920s. Electric streetcars rolled down Broadway, clanging past Model T Fords and a few men on horseback. The new San Diego and Arizona Railway, an engineering miracle called the Impossible Railroad, with its wooden bridges across desert gullies and canyons, had connected the city to the rest of America in 1919. 4 years later, the year Gramps was born, a local businessman gave a speech. "What is the matter with San Diego?" he asked.